Time now for the morning rush. We start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. Dealing with quite a bit of high cloud cover out there this morning, even some showers hanging on over the southwest, but these will clear through the day. That storm system that's diving to the south will continue to move, but as far as what's going on tonight into tomorrow, clear skies, so it's going to be colder tomorrow morning, but at least we get into more sunshine and warmer temperatures on Friday. Crystal?
As you get ready to head out the door, we're following the day's top local stories. We start with Sarah Yingling, live in Northeast Albuquerque.
This morning, one person is dead. Another is recovering in the hospital after a shooting in Northeast Albuquerque. Police say it happened around 8:30 last night around Texas Street and Chico Road when they received a call from a man saying that he had been shot. When officers got there, they found the man outside suffering from a gunshot wound. Officers also found a woman inside of the house who was also hit by gunfire. Both were taken to the hospital. The woman later died from her injuries. Officers say there were other people inside of the home at the time. They were being held for questioning until detectives arrived. Fernanda?
Former APD officer Lou Golson is suing the used car dealership where Christopher Cook stole the SUV he was driving when he shot the veteran officer. That's according to the Journal. Cook, a suspected drunk driver, shot Golson several times during that 2015 stop. He was in a stolen SUV at the time. The suit against that car place on Wyoming near Lomas says their negligence allowed Cook to take off with the vehicle. More on what that lawsuit is alleging coming up in the 5 Facts. Crystal.
Former White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon is reiterating his support for President Trump this morning. This despite Trump blasting him over explosive comments that Bannon made in a new book. Trump fired back at Bannon, saying when Bannon was fired, he not only lost his job, he, quote, lost his mind. Pieces of that book were recently released showing several remarks by Bannon, one accusing Trump Jr. of treason. Late last night, Bannon called Trump, quote, a good man. On to new news this morning. A Utah man facing criminal charges this morning for allegedly threatening to kill President Trump. According to an indictment, Travis Luke Dominguez is quoted as saying he woke up and decided he was going to kill the president. The indictment says he made the threat the day the president visited Utah to announce changes to national monuments. He is expected in court later on today. On to new details now. The 2 missing Texas girls are safe this morning after they were found in Trinidad, Colorado. Late last night, Round Rock police say 44-year-old Terry Miles, who allegedly kidnapped the girls, was spotted in Trinidad on surveillance video. Miles is also considered a person of interest in the death of the girls' mother, Tanya Bates. She was found dead on New Year's Eve. Police say Miles is in custody this morning. We're waiting for word on any possible charges.
A major winter storm continues to bring heavy snow, damaging winds, blizzard conditions, and coastal flooding to the region. The storm system dropped rare snowfall parts of the south yesterday, including Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. Thousands of flights have already been canceled. That will continue to be a major threat for the eastern seaboard through the day today. Bringing you back closer to home, Albuquerque, the only threat we have are the cold temperatures out there. That's why that Metro Threat Index is so low today. There's no weather concerns expected this afternoon. We're talking highs in the 50s, mostly sunny skies, and light winds out of the north. Crystal?
This morning, several vendors from a downtown music concert say they're preparing to take legal action against the organizers. They say months after the Somos Festival, they still have not been paid. Organizers say they have not been able to pay because they came out of the event with $90,000 in debt. And they're blaming it on failing to collect $78,000 worth of pledged donations. UFC now saying it will not issue media credentials for Jackson Wink MMA media director after he referred to Chris Cyborg Justino as a man on social media. Mark Aragon then apologized on Instagram, saying he made the comment after hearing Justino and her camp make fun of Home after the fight. The UFC and Jackson Wink Gym says they do not condone his remarks. Happening today, candidates wanting to be Santa Fe's next mayor will pitch their platforms at a forum. It's happening from 7 to 9 tonight at the Santa Fe University of Art and Design campus. All candidates will be asked questions submitted by the audience. It's the first time that the public will be able to hear directly from the candidates who want to be Santa Fe's first full-time mayor. People will pay more this year to visit Carlsbad Caverns. Get ready for this. The fee to get into the caverns went up to $12 a person. It's the first time the fee has increased since 2012. Children under the age of 15, you're still free. Park officials say 80% of the fees will help pay for visitor services and other projects. The other 20% will help pay for national parks who don't charge entrance fees. On to news new at 6. Some Capital One debit card holders are seeing double this morning. A technical issue is causing some customers to be charged with duplicate transactions. Capital One has apologized to card users and says customers will not be responsible for fees connected to this issue. The bank is working to correct the problem, but does not know when it will be fixed completely. On to news, new at 6, the Ford F-Series pickup truck was the best-selling vehicle in 2017 for the 36th year running. The company sold the trucks at the rate of 2 trucks every minute. Kelly Blue Book reports the average price of a new vehicle in 2017 was slightly more than $36,000. That is a new record. Kristen.
Time now for a check on your Thursday morning commute. Not seeing anything major out there. Everything looks good on both interstates. Surface streets moving smoothly as well. We'll be here keeping eyes on the roadways for you throughout the morning.
Hungry this morning? Listen to this story. The fast food wars are picking up steam. Taco Bell is now introducing nacho fries later this month. The fries will be served with Mexican seasoning and warm nacho cheese. They're available nationwide for $1. Toppings like beef, pico de gallo, or sour cream are extra. Amazon's latest patent hints at what it might be like to get dressed in the future. Take a look at your TV screens here. The tech giant was granted a patent for a blended reality mirror, which could superimpose virtual clothing onto your reflection. It would also be capable of placing you in a virtual scene like a beach or maybe a restaurant to match an outfit with the occasion. How cool is that? St. Louis Zoo just released these adorable images of 8 new cheetah cubs. They're born there in November. It's the largest litter ever recorded at that zoo. Zoo officials say the new Octomom is taking excellent care of her new babies. Oh my goodness, she's overwhelmed. The family is in a private den and will not be on display to the public for several months. I hope not. She needs to recoup after all that.
That is a resting mom face.
Yeah.
Like, do not mess with me or my cubs. They're so cute.
I hope she's sleeping when they're asleep. They're probably never asleep.
Look at their little tails.
They're so adorable, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
All right, time for the 5 facts. We can watch that all day.
That's true. Can we just, for the next like 5 minutes, just a repeat of cheetah
Over and
photos?
over.
All right, number 5, Albuquerque getting a lot of attention after being featured in Sunset Magazine. The magazine ranks the city number 17 in a list of 20 game changers that are redefining the West, according to the Journal. Now, the magazine cites the arts scene, the dozens of nature trails, 300 days of sunshine, and new job opportunities like the building of the Facebook data center. It also talks about several areas that have been transformed over the years, like Nob Hill.
Pretty cool. Number 4 now, PNM is getting its hearing with the PRC to see if customers will see a bigger rate increase to help foot the bill for upgrades to a power plant and coal generating station in the Four Corners. The Public Regulation Commission originally voted in favor of only a 9% rate increase. It voted down the request to boost rates even more to cover costs of the plant and station improvements. But yesterday, the PRC changed its mind and voted to hold a hearing next week to consider the boost. It could mean an increase of up to 15%. We'll let you know exactly when that hearing is scheduled. On to number 3.
Sunshine and high cloud cover across the state today. The showers over the southwest clear, mild temperatures for everybody.
Number 2 now, this morning, a former Santa Fe County deputy is beginning his 5-year sentence for molesting 2 young girls. Los Alamos police arrested Dustin Bingham back in May. They say he admitted to touching the girls while he lived with their families and said he needed help. He pleaded guilty in November to the crime. Yesterday, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison plus 10 years supervised probation. The Santa Fe County Sheriff launched an internal investigation. Bingham eventually resigned from that department. Number 1 now, we're learning former APD officer Lou Golson is suing the used car dealership where Christopher Cook stole the SUV that he was driving the night he shot the veteran officer. That's according to the Journal. Golson is now suing that car place, saying their negligence allowed Cook to take the vehicle. In the suit, it says he was able to steal the SUV when employees left it unlocked and running, and that employees never checked Cook's driver's license or did a background check when he asked to test drive the SUV that day.